the next tank right up on the south end. I've cleaned around it, that mud, all first of the year. That little bit of water there is just what rained in here. I may bring a pump in the morning. It's probably not 2 foot deep. But this other end's dry beside it. Maybe I can start edging into it. Get some of that. I'm going to clear all these trees off and kind of get that dam where I can get up it a little bit flatter slope before I try anything. I just soon have that little bit of, there's hard ground under that water, but I just soon not have it. It goes to mixing with that little bit of mud and makes a mess. So we'll see what we can do with it and let y'all see a little bit what we got. Well, I decided to go ahead, and it's supposed to be 64 today, which it probably is right now, nice and warm. So I went ahead and went in, got the pump. This will make things a whole lot easier pumping that water out. So I kind of crowded it up from both ends and got it gathered it up right here. It's not that deep, but that's quite a bit if you got good hard ground over there. Just makes a mess. This way it'll get this little bit of water out of here and it'll dry up. And that's working pretty good over there, but I don't want to add no more water to it, get it any wetter. So nice warm day, good day to pump water. You don't want to pump water when it's like 30-something degrees. That's gets your hands cold. So this shouldn't take long. I'm gonna get in the dozer and dig some on that other side. So we'll let y'all see some of that later on. Well, I come up here to shut my pump off because it was sucking air. It got so shallow and the camera was off, so I don't know how much y'all seen of that or not, but I'm gonna pull my pump up and drain the water out of it, and that's about all the water. I had it running pretty low idle just to, so it wouldn't start sucking air, but that'll dry up. That's going to be the only soupy stuff there is right there, and you can't help that none. So what's out in the middle though, it's pretty thick stuff, so I don't know if you can tell. I may speed that up whenever I show it, but you always try to move mud a little bit. You jump up a gear or two or increase your speed so you don't get overloaded, especially in this thick stuff, so you can get too much. And if you go to spinning tracks, you're not going nowhere anyway. So if you're running a little bit higher gear and just kind of peel it off, and whatever you got in front of you, you want to be sure and get up and over with it. So if you get too much, you spin your tracks, you raise your blade up, then you start dumping it all on the slope, then you can't get out with nothing till you clean it up. But this is pretty thick stuff here, but as long as I stuck a bar in it before I got on top of it, and I just barely shove a bar in there. But I mean, it's thick enough, and sometimes thicker mud's harder to push. And soupy mud, because it sticks to you and it won't get away. Soupy mud, you can at least, you may have to chase it, but it sheds off your blade. But there's probably not 2 more foot down in here, so, but I didn't want that water coming down through here. Some spot, and when I dug this out back in the winter, there was water standing on top of this, and when I got so close to it, it went to running out into the where I dug. So that's what I didn't want. If I'd have got too close, that might have broke in and run off here, and I don't want no more water on this. I can peel this out all right, but just pick it up a notch and go a little bit faster so you don't get loaded down, because that stuff is heavy, that old thick mud. So anyway, we'll let y'all see some of that tomorrow. I'm gonna pick my pump up and drain the water out of it and drag it up there so it'll dry off. I ain't gonna try to water that hose around, it's muddy and everything. So we'll let y'all see some of that tomorrow then. I'm gonna call her quits on the tank. There's a little bit on the other side of it, but it's yeah, I don't know if it's an old creek down there, but it's right straight down and straight up. If I get down in there, I can't get out. So I got the dam dressed off and ready for a rain, but that thing's pretty deep, 15 foot or better, and that's the spillway over there on that side, and that'll control both of these holes. This hole I dug back in January, it's got quite a bit of water in it. It's not full, but I cut that slit here, so when that fills up, it'll run into this one. Then before it goes around the spillway, it'll stack back up into this one, and it's not supposed to go around that little berm there because we don't want it to spill in the field. It used to, but that's a pretty good size hole there. I don't know if you remember, there was an old hole behind it, and we dug all the dirt out and filled it in. So when everything's full, this will be water from that grass all into here and backed up through here, and all of that out in there will have water on it, and up in that little neck will have water in it. So all we got to have is the rain. But there's a little bit of mud right there, but like I say, it's just right straight down and right straight up. If you ever get hung in there, you can't get out. So that's still plenty of hole there. So it's supposed to rain for a couple days now, so maybe it'll, we just hadn't run no water. I mean, it's just all you can see is when it rains, it just rains, catches what falls on that slope there. We hadn't run any water out of that field or this creek. There's another tank above this one, so it's the same shape. So anyway, we're fixing to put diesel in there and call it a day. So thank y'all again for watching this channel. If you hadn't subscribed, go ahead. I'm not going to say keep the blade shiny or my tracks clean, because they are plumb full of mud, but it'll fall out sooner or later. So anyway, thank you for watching this channel, and we'll see what the next project is. Bye.